Dear future client, my name Paul. Me and my brother Billy, we are running Earthange, a physical commodity trading firm where we're sourcing charcoal from Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia to your country safely without getting the risk of getting what you don't want. It's about quality control, the process of safety control, and also about the credit risk, about getting scammed, about people, the counterparty run away. There's many risks in internet transactions. If the counterparty is bad persons, then it's really tough for you to do business. So we are here to solving these problems so that you don't have to headache, don't have to painfully thinking the whole night and then losing your money because all these issues could happen anytime. If that person haven't made the mistake like me in the past, as a supplier, as a commodity trader, I have made many mistakes in the past. We losing the whole cargo, we messing around a lot. So that's the reason why we could came up with a whole system to prevent many of these issues to happen. So let's get it started. For the quality control, the most important thing is you need to get what you want, because the point is if you're getting what you don't want, the risk of you losing that amount of money could be enormous. We are already preventing that by clearly communicate with you at the beginning first. Me and my brother Billy, we already been through over 60 charcoal producers across Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia to learn, to understand each product specifically. And also we selling these charcoal to our client too, in order to accumulate the best and the clearest way to communicate to getting what our client want. So because we've been through so many manufacturers, so many producers, we're getting through all the headache of touching the charcoal, smelling the charcoal, using it, burning it, measuring it, so that we could have an idea of when you tell us what you want, we know exactly where to get it from. So I bet it's something that's valuable for you. After we verify and communicate with you clearly to make sure we know what you want, then we started to send you a piece of sample to make sure that, hey, this is matching your requirement. And this would be magnificent when you confirm. We're gonna have a team member to be at the processing house and measure piece by piece to make sure that at the date where we packet the container, everything gonna go right way and should not make any mistake. And we're gonna be upfront of the percentage of the product gonna not meet the requirement, because even though a batch of products is perfectly, it also need a range of product to be maybe a little bit softer, a little bit harder, a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter, but have to be in that range. We're gonna upfront and clearly communicate so that you know you're getting what you want. So that about quality control. That about managing the risk of you purchasing the product from a producers where you don't really want to mess it up at this part, because if you don't have people to manage the whole stuff of quality control, when you get it in product, sometimes it's not going to be what you want, and you wouldn't be able to sell this, or wouldn't be able to use it at the purpose that it should be. So that's a huge risk. that we should avoid at the beginning right away. All right. Secondly, it's about the risk of transportation. Charcoal is a really sensitive product. Not many ship lines in this world want to take charcoal on a boat. So in order for you to actually be able to deliver the charcoal is have a lot of requirement. And these requirements are sometimes really tough to get. Sometimes it's really nonsense, could be. Sometimes it's just a sometimes it's not really helpful. But the main key point where make the charcoal really sensitive and dangerous is about the processor and about the way that we loading the charcoal on the container, about the way that we pack the product. This is the point where we need a little bit experience. We need to control bit by bit of the period where the charcoal need to rest after it getting cut by shore or getting reheat. For example, in the case of Binchotan white charcoal, you need to reheat it, right? In order to make it can have no spark when you burn it. So the heat accumulate after the reheating process, or sometimes it's just about when you cut the charcoal, the char attacking the charcoal and make a little flame from charcoal attach back to the charcoal, and from that the charcoal burning slowly without notice of anyone. So the correct way is that you have to leave it there on the ground for a couple of days before you repack it, before you load it on the container, so that the risk of getting burned is going down dramatically and not gonna put you into the risk of losing the cargo and have to deal with a headache of thousands and thousands of container burning, and that is gonna be a not really good circumstance to happen. So that's the reason why. Secondly, the transportation of the charcoal is really important part. And I know that you don't want a headache, so let us headache for you. We're gonna help you to make sure that this charcoal gonna deliver under the safety times and period. So all these two is really huge values that we add on into these transactions, and to help you getting what you want, so that you don't have to headache to selling what is not supposed to be. And secondly, we're helping you to deliver the product safely, so that you don't have to be worried about the product getting burned and we get into a dramatically headache things to solve. Next thing is going to be about the counterparty risk, which is we take your money and run away. So the best way that we could solve it is just about the issue of trust. And many other suppliers, sometimes they never export before. They telling you that they export before. Sometimes they doing the little shady things and they tell you they're not doing that. We're gonna be upfront with you on anything. We're gonna tell you any part of the process, anything that we're gonna do, so that you know that we doing nothing shady over there. We doing nothing that behind your back. And we mixing what is not supposed to be.
The charcoal like this.
From that, the conclusions is for the risk of the counterparty. It's really also depend on your side. If yourself is a really good client, and we could verify, we'll see that you've been in the business for so many years and everybody in the industry know you. We happily could deliver you the first container without asking for prepayment, to make sure that you're getting what you want. just like what I did for my other client. You have to understand that he is second biggest charcoal importer in Taiwan, and his company has doing this business for over 60 years. So in that scenario, I could support that person's on the counterparty risk, on the quality risk, on everything risk that I mentioned by deliver to his company and let him open and check the product before I ask him for the payment, which means that sending product without payment. But if you're not the second biggest charcoal importer of any countries, then maybe we will need to do it differently. And it's about our risk too. It's not just about your risk, it's about our risk too. So we need to reduce everything. So after the first shipment, to be not asking for payment, in the future, we're gonna asking for the payment at the bill landing. So all of these things gonna help a client really depend on your situations. We surely that we still have the way to scare the transaction and make sure you get what you want and not getting scammed. Maybe you could fly to the point where we pack in the product and then we together could see the process of packaging the product and the quality control and the way that we loaded the product on the container so that you could feeling safely about our first transactions. We're still asking you to do the prepayment if you are a really small business. But if you are a little bit bigger, a big company, we're willing to take the risk of sending the product there first, and then you pay us for the first times. And then next times is about you sending us through a we're gonna receive the payment after the bill landing. So these three things is what we provide for our client. We reduce the counterparty risk, which means that you're not gonna getting scammed by us. And also, I'm gonna leave my client testimonial, a bunch of video throughout the video that I'm shooting right now, so that you have an idea of who I am, who we are. And my goal is to become the most honest physical commodity trader in the world. That's our mission. So from that, hopefully I could be the most trustworthy name in the whole commodity world, in the whole commodity trading world. Thank you. That's the video. Another one thing that I would like to mention is that doesn't matter if you know how to import or not. We could help you to get the product to your door safely without any headache on the side. What is your name and where you from?
My name is Liang, come from Taiwan.
你可以会中文吗？
我是梁，来自台湾。
What is your company name and what is do? How many years have you been established?
我的公司名字是天祥木炭行 ，Yes， 成立了55年。
55年。
Fighting 5 years。
你的公司卖什么？
卖 charcoal。
卖
charcoal。Yes。
木炭。
卖木炭。
对木炭。
说中文啊。
说中文。OK， 好。Have you ever been scammed before in international trade? And how much money did you lose? 你听好吗？你 losing money？
我在越南那边贸易，去年损失大约5万美金。
5万美金。
Yes。
So why are you still want to work with Paul, even though 你有很多伙伴，生意伙伴？为什么
？Just you, right？
对。
因为多尝试可以看市场价格。因为现在手机很方便，网络很方便，我们可以询问多一点的厂商，但是很多厂商来找我，基本上我都是不会回应的。但是因为他 只有20岁，再加上他的介绍影片很生动，所以我才回复他。进而来，我们来就会合作的第一个货柜这样子。OK。
If there is our company looking to import products from Vietnam, do you recommend them to work with Paul with me?
第一个货柜，他给我的第一个货柜是不需要支付任何的定金跟押金。货柜到时候打开货柜支付费用，这已经是前所以来我遇到的所有供应商第一位敢这么做的，所以这或许就是一个信任。所以如果我的朋友或是想要购买越南的其他产品，我会推荐给他这样子。OK。
6. What do you think about it? I'm willing to fly to Taiwan to work with you, to see your product, to learn about your product before I do any business, to make sure that we could meet the right quality. 你听到？
我认为他在台湾来看了这些工厂之后，对他来说应该是会有很大的帮助，因为他可以看到说我们的产品其实你像木炭很简单的一个东西，但是它产品就有10几种，所以说他打开产品的时候，他也可以看到说它的瑕疵品在哪里，我直接跟他讲，还有测试说硬度啊、燃烧的部分、燃烧时间，还有它的灰的部分，就是可以更仔细的讲解，总比说在线上 online 的之类 video， 然后会比来现场讲解好的很多，而且主要是我们两个在沟通也没有什么任何问题，再来也可以增进我们之间的感情，我们可以去很多地方玩啊，我们可以去骑脚踏车啊之类的，对，这样子。
好 ，Alright, last question. My action is focused on long terms, which means that I want to do long-term business. Is that important to you to have a partner that willing to do all of the actions in order to have a long-term partnership? Which means that you don't have to go and find a new partner every time they cheated you, they scam you. So is that important to you?
我认为长期做生意这是一定的，但是再来说就是两者之间要有信任，信任是第一步。然后因为我们家也这个是家族企业，已经是我是第3代了，所以当然是想要长久做下去，这是一定的。再来就是之间不能有欺骗，品质要好，这就对于我们来说做长久生意是一定没有问题的，就这样子。OK，
Alright， 好。